everyone and welcome back to my channel. So this is going to be mine and Stanley's 3-week update. So if you want to find out how he's been doing and how I've been doing, then keep watching. So I'm going to start this video with how this little one's been doing, and then I will move on to me at the end because I just think that he's way more exciting than I am. So he is now 3 weeks and 4 days old, so I am doing this a little bit late, but the reason for that is, well, I'm adjusting to having 3 kids. We're all off at the moment because it's the Easter holidays, so there is a whole family of 5 in this house, which is lovely, but at the same time it makes things very, very difficult for me to get things done, and obviously I want to spend time with the kids. But we also registered him yesterday, which was really exciting, and I kind of wanted to like wait until I'd done that so I could tell you about it and then like commit it to my memory as well. But at our local sort of registry town hall office, they've like moved, and Stanley was officially the first baby to be registered in their new offices, so that was quite fun, and it just felt really, really real. Oh dear, it did, didn't it? It felt really, really real going like as a family of 5. We all went together and we, you know, just enjoyed the moment really, and he's officially Stanley James Taylor, so there's no going back now. We really love his name and I think he really, really suits it as well, but it's just one of those like special milestones to get to really. The biggest thing I guess for Stanley in the past week though has been that, and I'm sure you can probably tell by the noises that he's making, he's had a cold, and it's really, really not been very, very fun for him. He's been really congested, and when they're this tiny, you moving your head back so you can see me. When they're this tiny they can't really have anything, so it's not like, oh dear, oh bless you, oh we're having a coughing fit. Yeah, they can't really have anything at this age. They can't have Calpol or, you know, baby Nurofen or anything like that, so it's just been lots of cuddles and lots of attention really. I do have 2 products that have helped with that I'm going to show like at the end of talking about him, like just as some favourites from like the past week, and I'm going to collect together all of my sort of newborn essentials into a video very soon. I just want to make sure that anything that I'm recommending I really, really can stand by, because like 3 weeks in, it's not like I'm an expert at a newborn yet, is it? Despite him being my 3rd. But yeah, the cold's not been great. He has been doing really well, but with that he has struggled to feed, which is normal. So we've had to feed him little and often, so his feeding routine, which was getting into quite a good place, was all messed up again, which is always the way, isn't it? But we were feeding him every couple of hours when he was really bad, and sometimes he'd only be taking like 1-2 ounces max, whereas now he's on the mend and he is getting a little bit better and he's like getting back into feeding properly again. He's probably taking about 4 ounces every, I would say 3.5 to 4 hours, and obviously he's on formula, so babies can go a little bit longer, typically on formula. And speaking of formula, he is doing really well on it. Like he's having like regular wet nappies, and like he poos like once a day pretty much, which is standard for a formula fed baby. And we've really been enjoying the MAM bottles. I just think they're brilliant. We tried 3 with him overall, and they were the ones that clicked for him, and we love them. Can't recommend them enough, and I've already got them in the next stage up, ready for when he gets a little bit bigger. He has just taken to bottle feeding really well. I really don't think that with his general sort of demeanour and personality that he ever would have had the stamina for breastfeeding, because I think a lot of people forget that babies have to learn to breastfeed as well. They've got to put a lot of effort in to do that, and you know, it's a big job for mum and baby, and it's amazing when it works. But he is just so laid back and a very, very lazy eater that I just feel like in order to have tried to pursue breastfeeding further, he would have dropped a lot of weight, I think. And I am happy with the decision that we've made, especially because he does seem to be quite a weighty thing these days. Speaking of weight, we don't know how much he weighs at the moment, but I will hopefully get him weighed soon. He's still in size 1 nappy purely because we've got them to use up, and he is still in up to 1 month clothing, but this sleep suit that he's wearing at the moment is up to 1 month, and it's from Next, and I don't know if you can see, but he is, you know, it's very, very filled out now and it's getting quite snug, but I think that 0 to 3 would be ridiculously big on him still, so we're just going to have some snug sleep suits for a little bit longer, aren't we? I don't know if you can see this, but he keeps rearing his head back so he can watch me talk, which is just another development really for this week, because his personality is coming out so much more, and he's really quite alert. When he's awake, and he's a very calm and placid little baby. Barely cries. The only time he cries really is when you change his nappy, because he hates to have like his bits out and it gets all cold, and he doesn't like being cold, do you? You're like your dad, you don't like being cold. But he's just really laid back, and he's very curious, and when he's awake he loves nothing more to be in your arms and just watching you, and he just stares like a little bush baby, and he just loves to love you. That's what he wants to do, and he's the sweetest little thing. I joked over on my Instagram last night actually, over on my Instagram stories. I'm at Charlotte Taylor over there if you don't follow me already, but I was just joking how he seems a bit like having a Tamagotchi. I don't know if you remember them, but I had one when I was little, and you just have to keep on top of feeding them and cleaning up the poop and making sure they get sleep and making sure that they get play, and then, you know, as long as you do all of those things in the right order, he's fine. And it's just what he's like. He is such a good sleeper, and I don't say that in a way that's like, oh, I'm boasting about my good sleeper, because this is my 3rd child, and Bill, my first, didn't sleep through until the week he turned 1, and obviously with Daisy that was just not an easy experience going through that with all her extra care, and she's actually been quite a tricky sleeper as a toddler more so than a baby, whereas Stanley at the moment is an absolute dream. He really is, and I don't know what it is. I don't think it's anything we're doing. I think it's his personality and just the way he likes to do things, but he's very aware of day and night. He sleeps when he sleeps and he's awake when he's awake, and he has like a very sort of strict routine really that he kind of put himself in. But obviously there are things that we do, and I am going to do a newborn baby routine video. I'm hoping to film that maybe on say Monday or Tuesday next week, and today's Friday, so it's not long until I do that. Hopefully that like helps, or it's just interesting for people to watch. But yeah, he's been a real dream, and we are absolutely in love with him, aren't we? We are so in love with you. Yes, we are. So as I mentioned, I have a few favourites that I wanted to sort of show you, and one thing that I forgot to show you last time because I wasn't able to because it was in the wash was this, and this is the thing that he sleeps in. So it's the Love to Dream swaddle, and it looks like this, and you basically put baby's arms up here like that, and this fabric here at the top is very stretchy, and it's thinner than the rest of the fabric lower down, so he can have his arms where he likes them, which is here, and he feels nice and secure and cozy, but there's still a bit of flexibility. And then obviously you can zip it up from the top and you can zip it up from the bottom, so like if you're doing a nappy change at night, for example, you don't have to completely unzip him and take him out. So we've been loving that. And then, as I also mentioned, he's had a cold, so we bought the nose feeder off Amazon, and this is NHS approved, so if you're in the UK this is fine to use, and it's a nasal aspirator, and my goodness, it is brilliant. So it basically looks like this, and this end is a tube that you can take the end off, and we've been popping it in our sterilizer after every use because we've got a cold water sterilizer, and you basically suck on this tube and put this just at the entrance of your baby's nose and suck, and the amount of gunk that comes out of this little guy is ridiculous. It's ridiculous, but it's been helping him so much. And then along with that, we've been using the Calpol Soothing Care Saline nasal drops to loosen up any mucus or snot that's in his nose as well. So I can definitely recommend those two things for newborn colds because it makes a world of difference. So as for me postpartum, I'm 3.5 weeks postpartum. Today I'm feeling okay because I have had the time to sort of get dressed and do my hair, which I don't normally look like this. Like if you see me over on Instagram or you've seen like my weekend vlogs, you know that I don't look like this all the time. But it does help to have some time for yourself, like just some time to feel human and find out who you are again, because I feel like every time I have a baby, part of me in a way changes. It's not a huge part, it will just be a subtle change, but I just feel like I'm a little bit different than I was before, and I miss like my identity as Charlotte in herself already, and I hope it's okay to say that. Like I absolutely love being a mum, I absolutely adore it, but I also need something for me, and I need to feel good about myself, and I need to feel, you know, confident in these videos, because I don't have the most subscribers in the world, but there is quite a lot of people that watch, and I want to feel like good about myself when I look back and edit them, and I want to feel happy when I'm out and about, and I want to feel sexy, and you know, I think it's normal. Obviously I'm soaking up all this time with him while I can, because he's my last baby, and I spend a lot of time in pyjamas because they are more comfortable than anything else, to be honest. But I am just getting to that stage where I'm thinking ahead a little bit, and I will be 6 weeks postpartum in about 2.5 weeks, and then I really do want to start making little changes just to make myself feel better and feel healthier and feel more confident again. So that has been the hardest thing for me this week, because I've been trying to get into wearing like normal clothes. My boobs have gone down since I've stopped expressing, and my left one still leaks on occasion, which is really weird because that was the one that produced the least milk, but she's still going. She still wants to protest and make sure that I keep making milk, which is hard sometimes, because when I think everything's stopped, I end up leaking through clothes, and it's happened a few times when I'm out and about and I've forgotten a breast pad, and that's not been fun. And it's also painful as well, because it's like a reminder of what I couldn't do, and I just wish it would stop now for good and leave me alone so I can move on. And you know, I found it really, really hard not being able to breastfeed, so that's been one thing. And then the other thing is the bleeding, the lochia, the postpartum bleeding. It is going on this time round. I am sure by 3 weeks with Daisy I had finished bleeding, but this time round, like, you never know if you're coming or going down there. Like sometimes I'll be absolutely fine and I go back into like my old underwear, because I like to wear thongs because my bum likes to try and eat underwear anyway, so I might as well wear the ones that are for that purpose. And I've worn a couple, and then everything's fine. I've had a couple of days where there's like no bleeding at all, and then the next minute I'll go to the toilet and it looks like I've murdered a squirrel down there, or like you'll get that dreaded damp feeling, and then you think, oh no, I'm bleeding still. And obviously it does correspond with like moving around and getting out and about more, which is normal, but just so on and off and on and off. And you know, when you get to that stage where you're like, I don't want to wear these nappy pads anymore. Like I just want to be a human and not like have that crunchy, uncomfortable feeling between my legs. So that's not been great. Otherwise, in terms of my emotional state, I'm feeling so much better than I did last week, because obviously the breastfeeding journey was still very raw for me, and I was very, very emotional, whereas I feel like any emotions and any blues that I've had have faded. And instead, like I said, I'm just feeling a little bit insecure now, but it's just the way things are, and I know that like things will get better. So what I'm going to do is quickly put this little one down because he's fallen asleep, and then I will show you my body and like my tummy and the state it's at 3 weeks postpartum, and then I will let you go. So this is me at 3 weeks postpartum, and I'm in normal clothes, which is great, but can't give up the trusty leggings at the moment. So this is my tummy from the front, and as you can see, it's still quite soft. It definitely has come in a lot more here, and I feel like I'm getting my shape back, but there's a lot of, it doesn't feel like normal fat. It's hard to describe. It's very soft and loose and jelly-like, so I don't know if I'm completely back in my normal shape just yet. And then this is it from the side, so you can see that again, I've got my peachy bit at the side here. So that is the end of this video. I hope that you found it useful and you like watching as always. I can't actually believe that he's 3 weeks old now. It's ridiculous how quickly it's going. But yeah, I'm gonna love you and leave you, and I will hopefully see you over in my next video. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you next time. Bye.